Well, hey everybody, it's 3 p.m. It's Monday and it's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. And I have a big surprise here with me. Are you ready? Oh, no, no, no. Say hi. So this is Jax, but I call him Mr. President. Oh, do you want to say hi, Herm? No? Okay. Do you want to say hi, Dollface? So this is Mr. President and Dollface. There you are. Oh, everybody came over to say hello as if they didn't get enough of me over the weekend. Hi, hi. Okay. I'm handing him off. Okay. Well, hey, everybody. Hey, Mom. Cece's here. Do you want to say hi to Cece? No? Ooh, sorry. Okay. All right. Well, I have so much to say. Oh, Lynn, how are you? So nice to see you. My mom is here. So many people are taking the moment to find us. I really have to tell you, I am very excited about a few things that I find happening within my own garden, and that is this. I just want to show you that this is a head of celery, and what I'm going to do is just cut off the heart, because you can do this at home. I'm just cutting off this heart just like that, okay? I will wash this up later and make celery sticks for all of us, but what I want to show you is this. I took a heart just like this that I cut off from the celery stalk, and I put it in water just like this. Hey, Heather. Hey, Dad. The whole family's here. And look at this. Hey, Laura Grouse. So nice to see you. And look at this celery. Hey, Arlene. There you are. There you are. So happy to see everybody. Happy Passover to all of you. Hey, Teresa. Everybody give Teresa a high five for having won the book. With our guest, Ariane Resnick, who wrote the Thinking Girl's Guide to Drinking. So, Teresa, that book is going to be on its way to you very, very soon. And anyway, so let's get back to the celery heart. As you can see, that celery heart is sprouting celery. And I'm going to put this in the ground tomorrow, actually. And it started out, hello, hello, are you back? Say hi. Come say hi. Can you say bye-bye? Hey, Cynthia Berman. Okay, there we go. Hey, Sue Plattner. It's been a while. Oh, my God, everybody's finding us today. I'm so glad. So you can do this at home. Just cut the celery heart, put the bottom right into the water. You can plant this in a pot right outside your door on your patio. And then I'm going to show you this little garlic right here is starting to sprout. And I'm going to take this just as it is, and I'm going to put it in the water that already has this celery heart, and I'm going to let it take hold and start sprouting. And so I will have garlic and I will have celery that I can start growing in the garden. I'll let you know how that goes because it's the first time, and I don't even know if this is the season for it. I'll soon find out, right? And these are scallions that I cut off the stems, put them in water. They began to root, and now look at them. So I think all of these are going to go in the garden. What, sweetheart? You're leaving. Bye, guys. I love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. This is how we say goodbye. Bye-bye. Okay. Bye, Harm. Thanks for coming by. Okay, she came by. She forgot what we do at 3 o'clock. So anyway, so that is just a few of the things that I discovered out in the garden. I also discovered this. So as I continued down through the garden, I discovered that, and many of you may have this if you have anything growing, any leafy vegetable growing, you can see the tops of this starting to flower. And what this is seed. And what happens is the plant says, oh, I'm at the end of my life. I need to be able to propagate. And so it sprouts these long stalks, shooters, and with the seeds on the top of it. And sometimes you can cut them off and maybe keep it alive for a little while longer. But then what happens is it dies, but the seeds go into the soil, and this is the way that the plant, the vegetable, the stems find their way to life again. So once they start shooting like this, it means that they're at the end of their life. So what I did is I cut them off right here at the stem, and the roots will now decompose into the soil, which will cause the soil to become much more fertile when I get ready to plant in it in just a little while. So what we're going to do, and this is actually a funny story. I had the farmer here from Garden Farmers of Las Vegas, and we were looking at, this is Tuscan kale. So it's individual cloves. So I guess I should take the individual cloves out, Cynthia. I don't know, but it looks like this whole thing is probably, taking root from the whole thing. So anyway, so back to the Tuscan kale. So I was showing the farmer this Tuscan kale. We were talking about it. And she explained that I needed to cut it off at the root and just harvest the entire plant. And I said, okay, well, I just sauteed it the other day. And she pulled it out and she looked at it and she says, well, this has aphids. And I said, oh, it has aphids. I mean, I just ate it the other night. And she said, I said, am I going to be okay? Expecting her to tell me that what was going to happen to me was worse than having COVID, because it really startled me. Because you know how careful I am. You watch me. And she said, no, it's just a little extra protein with your greens. Don't worry about it. Meanwhile, my heart was going like that. But I made sure that I washed these off really good with the food grade hydrogen peroxide. I've got chard right here. Now, you may think that I did this last week, and I did, but what I'm doing is I'm doing this very differently than what I did, and I'm going to explain why in just a moment. And this is the collard green. So these collard greens are sitting right now, and I harvest these also by cutting them off right at the root. The root is going to decompose down into the soil, and I've just soaked these in the food grade hydrogen peroxide so that we are not eating aphids. We got enough protein for dinner. We don't need anything else. So I'll give those a quick rinse. Let me set this over here. Okay. So let me rinse this off. Let me get you back. Let me get this. Oh, sorry. There we go. Okay. So let me get you back into the camera. Let me just rinse all the hydrogen peroxide off of these collard greens. So let me tell you, I happened to purchase the Masterclass series, and I really love it. And I've seen this advertised on Facebook for months and months and months, and I never, ever paid attention. In fact, one of the people that I first saw pop up was the Gordon Ramsay Masterclass. And though I have a great deal of respect for Gordon Ramsay, his style of cooking doesn't really inspire me. He's just a very, gruff and fast and hard cook, and it doesn't make my heart sing. But I saw this masterclass series from a woman I had never heard of before, and her name was Alice Waters. Well, come to find out, apparently I'm the only person on the planet who's never heard of her. She owns a restaurant in San Francisco called Chez Panay's, and she is credited with having coined the term farm to table. She started using farm to table in her restaurant Chez Panay's many, many years ago, Chez Panay's. And so I really needed to watch her. I really needed to understand her take on cooking, and the way that she spoke was so poetic. It just inspired me to want to cook and cook and cook and cook. Oh, in Berkeley, the restaurant is in Berkeley. So Arlene has heard of it. I assumed that because of Berkeley, that maybe there wasn't that nice of a restaurant in that area, but she must live in that area, probably in Berkeley, because she spoke about it very frequently. In any case, she talked about the fact that in Italy, hi, Ellen Hughes Setliff, right? Yes, Setliff. Ellen Hughes Setliff. Hi, Helen. Ellen, so nice to see you. Thank you for being here. She talked about the fact that in Italy, with every meal, no matter what you're making, they always saute greens. And I was so interested in that because a lot of times when I saute the greens, they don't turn out, they just, like this Swiss chard, well, you've heard me say it before, it will turn into a quarter. Well, like all this Swiss chard will end up to be this big, and it seems hardly worth the trouble. And what I found, one of the techniques I used, is by cutting it up and sauteing it with onions and cauliflower. And that way there's substance in there that keeps it from going down to nothing. But what she does is she takes her greens and she throws it into the pot of boiling water for just a few minutes, just to give it like a blanching. And after the blanching, then she sautés it. And I tried it last week to test it, and I was shocked at how it held up. And it really did look like absolutely beautiful sauteed greens that you could have with anything. And a lot of times she said that it served as actually part of the after meal. So before dessert, but after the meal, right before salad, which I think is so interesting. In Italy, they actually eat the salad after the meal, which cleanses the palate. And I think that sounds fantastic as opposed to before. So I'm going to take this Tuscan kale and the collard greens along with the Swiss chard, and I'm going to dump it into boiling water right over here. And we're going to just blanch it for a brief period. Whoops, I'm getting a knife. And then I'm going to show you how to saute it up. So we'll just cut this off. No more aphids. I was very careful to make sure that everything, talk about fresh. I'm just cutting this right off the stalk right now. You know, sometimes I imagine that I'm in Italy and I'm at a farm and I've just picked all of this and I have Andrea Bocelli in the back singing operetta music, and I get so inspired and I travel back in time to maybe a time long before my lifetime when things seem simpler and where you live life off the edge of just the earth, and a slow time and slow cooking and finding beauty in everything that you touch, everything that you smell. And even though this really has a very non-smell to the Tuscan kale, but the Swiss chard really does, especially the stems of the Swiss chard. They really have a very unusual aroma to them, and I've learned to really tell the difference. So there's that. Hi, Marty Greenwood. So nice to see you here. Everybody say hi to Marty. Welcome her. We are sauteing greens the way they do in Italy, the way that Alice Waters taught me in my master class. I mean, I don't know if any of you have ever gone on to the master class and looked at what they have, but they have everything from politics, from how to write poetry, how to write books, to Sarah Blakely, who is the founder of Spanx, who talks about how to start a business and how to be an entrepreneur, her tips and tricks. Chefs, great chefs. I actually started the Master Series last night from Yoham Odolongi, who is this amazing Middle Eastern chef who has fantastic restaurants in England. And I found his take on mezza platters to be phenomenal. So see these flowerings, these are the seeds. You don't eat these, but when it starts shooting like that, you know that it's time to take it out of the ground. So now, just to the collard greens, right? We're going to take all these and clip them off. So how many of you, we can congratulate Teresa for winning the book by Ariane Resnick on the Thinking Girl's Guide to Drinking. How many of you made the cocktail with us when we made cocktails on Friday? That was lots of fun. My husband showing up, we got lots of fantastic comments on him. And so tomorrow, just telling you as I clip away to get all these ready to go blanching into the water, tomorrow the farmer from Garden Farms Las Vegas is coming to assess my outdoor garden and to tutor me in some of the areas that I need tutoring, like apparently noticing the aphids before I eat them. That would be helpful if I was taught that. And we are going to plant perhaps my celery that I just sprouted and some other things that he brought along with him, as well as the zucchini that we planted together. I don't know if you did seed starting Sunday with me back in January, but we started some seed starting. Okay, getting down to the end of it. Now in this water, I've got lots of salt. There we go, lots of salt. And we are just going to blanch these very, very quickly. There we go. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to saute them. So let me get rid of these stalks so we have plenty of room here. And I'm going to dump this out. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to dump out this pot of hydrogen peroxide and water, food grade hydrogen peroxide. I mean, if that doesn't get rid of the aphids, I don't know what will. So, all right, there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is take these, and figure out this process here. Here we go. All right. Hi, Andy. So nice to see. And hey, Marty and Andy, we're having a reunion here. That's so nice. I love that I have so many of my old friends that are showing up from, believe it or not, junior high and high school, all showing up and saying hello and reconnecting with each other as well as with me. And I absolutely love seeing that. So, okay, into the pot we go. And we're just going to set these down and just give them a really nice quick blanch. Here we go. Okay, so that's a lot of greens that actually went into the water. There we go. All right. That's it. Okay. We'll count to 1, 2, 3. Hey, Doug Eisher, so nice to see you. You have not been here in a while. So glad to have you. Welcome back. We are sauteing greens. We're pretending that we're in Italy. I normally have, hey, Frank Salute. So nice to have you here. Normally I have Andrea Bocelli in the background. Okay, so we're just going to take these out, if you can see that. They're nice and green. They turn a really, really bright green, just like green beans when you cook them. You don't want them to get to that dark green color because that means you cook them too much. But we're just softening these up. Okay. All right. There we go. Into the bowl. And now what we're going to do is just setting this aside. There we go. And let me now take this and move it off. So just give me a second. I don't know if this is too hot. I need pot holders. Pot holders, pot holders. Let me turn and put this onto the stove. There we go. And let me bring over the other pan. Okay, so we'll put this on here. We'll let that start heating up. We'll put a little bit of olive oil into the pan. There we go. Okay, and let me turn you here just a little bit. And we're going to start with an onion. So we're going to start and saute an onion first right into this pan. If you can see that, I just want to make sure I get the right angle for all of us right here. Okay, I might have to get myself out of the shot a little bit and just cut this down, get all the skin off of the onion. Nice, beautiful, rich, red, sweet onion. This little piece is a little bit rotten on this side, so we'll cut that off. Aw, I hate to see that on an onion. Okay, let's get all that off. Just cut right through that. There we go, all clean and good. And we're just going to do kind of half, it's cut in half already, so we're just going to make little pinwheels, half slice pinwheels. We'll throw them in, and they'll start to saute. There we go, all the way through. There we go. Well, I'll tell you, I had so much fun this weekend with my grandchildren. Our daughter and her husband were at a wedding in Florida, and boy, I'll tell you what, that was a lot. I can't even tell you how exhausted I am today. Like, I couldn't even think straight for the first half of the day. I was just exhausted. It has been years since I've run after a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old at the same time. But I was committed to it, and I really had the best time of my life. I told my daughter that I had waited all of my life for her to say the words to me, "Mom, will you come and stay with the kids for 5 days?" And I'm going to tell you, I was scared to death. But, you know, far be it from me to let fear hold me back from anything I'm committed to. And so I went all in. Thank goodness to have an au pair who was really, truly, I mean, we made such a great team together. Because I really don't know the routine of the baby. Certainly my granddaughter, I've been taking care of her since she was born. So she and I are very, very bonded and connected, and I know her very, very well. But this little baby boy is a little bit different. So I just haven't had the time with him that I did with the first. And he's had an au pair, but my granddaughter, I was the au pair. So, but anyway, we cooked together. We went to the park. We went to the Children's Museum. We just had the best time. Hey, Stephen King, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. So we're making sauteed greens, and this is an Italian recipe, if you will, that I learned from the master class with Alice Waters. And I just was so inspired by everything that she does. So hold on, I need a wooden spoon. Here we go. So we're going to saute this around. Turn the fire up just a little bit on this. Oh, it won't go up. Let me turn it off and turn it back on. Here we go. Okay. You know, when all else fails, reboot. We learned that from our phones, right? Or our desktops. Just if can't get it to do it, just reboot. Okay. So let's smash this garlic. We're going to get this in and saute it around with the greens. There we go. Smash it up. Sometimes garlic works great, and sometimes it doesn't. Let's see. Stephen King, I'm a friend of your mother's. Love your show. Thank you very much, Stephen. I appreciate that very, very much. I thought you were the author, Stephen King. How many people say, did you write those books, Stephen King? Okay, there we go. One more. Okay, there we go. Okay, all right. So now, of course, as you know, I don't believe in crushed garlic at all. Just crush the cloves and throw them in because nobody wants to take a bite of anything you've made and get a big clove of garlic. So as a result, I really do believe in mincing it into small pieces all the time so that there's no one big bite that knocks your socks off. So let's do that. There we go. Okay. And we're just going to chop, get this all nice and small. Okay, there we go. So this Friday, we're going to be doing another drink, another cocktail Friday, and I'm going to give away another book, so be sure to join us. The book is called The Great Book of Peppers, meaning bell peppers, green peppers, chili peppers, all kinds of things. It's, habanero peppers, hatch chili peppers. It's really an amazing book, again, brought to you by Melissa Foods. And I'm so excited to be giving these books away. So, okay. All right. So I'm going to add just a little more olive oil. There we go. And saute the onions. Now I'm going to finish this off as it goes in. I'm going to finish it off with jalapeno oil so that it really gives it a really nice flavor. And if I need to deglaze the pan at all, I'm going to do it with hatch chili vinaigrette. And so, again, one of the benefits of the Temecula Olive Oil Company is these flavored olive oils and balsamic vinegars is just amazing. So, okay. Onions are starting to brown slightly. I think I forgot to put a little bit of salt on, but it's not too late. Here we go with a little bit of salt. Here we go. Okay. And We're sweating those onions. Oh, I can smell them too. They're so amazing. There we go. I love the smell of the red, sweet onions. You know, there's just a whole different smell. And what I love about them is that when I make French onion soup, I always use the red onions. And the smell always reminds me of the French onion soup. I just adore it. So this is a heart of an onion. Let me cut that out. Just slice that out. Get that back into the pan. There we go. You know, when you make a mistake, it's very easy to correct it. Um, and just there was a piece of onion in there that shouldn't be in there, so you just take it out. Okay, and now the garlic. Now, a lot of garlic in Italian cooking as well, you all know, right? Into the pan. There we go. Now, normally I would not use this big of a pan, but in order for all of you to see it, there we go, a little bit better. Let me move this over slightly. There we go. Okay, and so now we are going to give it a quick swirl. There we go. And I'm going to add just a little more olive oil because the onion and the garlic has definitely absorbed it. I don't want my onion to burn. And sometimes the quickest way to stop that, I learned last night from Ottolenghi, was just add a little extra olive oil to it. And that olive oil will stop it from browning or burning the garlic because no one wants a piece of burnt garlic. It's just too nasty. Okay, so turn it down, into the pot we go. And we're going to take them and we're going to drop them in really one at a time. See that? These beautiful greens. And I'm going to serve this tonight with salmon with celery. And tomorrow we are going to do a steamed halibut in parchment paper. It's just one of my favorite recipes with parchment and lemon and thyme. Oh, look at this. I don't know how that snuck in there, but I think we could do something about that. There we go. Again, you make a mistake, you just correct it along the way, just like life. Life is about learning, so you don't worry about any of your mistakes. You just learn and move on. Correct your mistake. So there we go. What is this? Okay, I'm still looking for those aphids. Aphids. I don't want to get scared. Okay, all righty, in we go. And basically, once I get all of these into this pot, I'm going to give it a quick stir and then onto the platter. So there we go. And you can see because they're blanched, they hold up more, which is really counterintuitive. That's what I was so surprised to see, is that it's truly counterintuitive as a result of blanching these. They hold up better. You would think they would decompose faster, but it's actually just the opposite. So here we go. All right. Here we go. Now, I would say that if I were not on camera and if I was not doing this as I go, I would have made sure that but I only have one burner. So I would have made sure that before I blanch these, that what I would have done is done the onions and the garlic prior to blanching the greens, and then I would have put the greens in the boiling water and went right from the boiling water into the saute. But I only have one burner. My sister only gave me one. I think she needs to give me another one. My stove is behind me, as you know, but if I did this at my stove, you would not be able to see me. I would have my back to you the whole time, and that would be no fun. No fun for me, no fun for you. It would be very boring. So sometimes I improvise, and sometimes I find that I improvise in the wrong direction, and I think this was one of those times. So learn from me whether I do it right or whether I do it wrong, and that is to go ahead and do your onions and garlic first. Then blanch your greens, then throw them in for a very quick saute, which we're going to do right now. Look at these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful greens. So they turn a beautiful lime green. There we go. And look at how much is in this. Isn't that beautiful? And we're just going to saute this around, and just enough to wilt them. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? And this becomes a fantastic sauteed vegetable on the side. Look at how beautiful this is. Absolutely delightful. Just perfect. Fresh out of the garden. Just 30 minutes before you came on board here. And I'm going to sprinkle on this. I just want to show it to you again, this fresh jalapeno olive oil, which gives it a really, really great flavor. I was going to use the lemon olive oil, but I decided I was going to use the jalapeno oil. So adding the fat, just a little bit of taste of the fat. And then the acid we're going to add is not the hatch chili, but we're going to use a squeeze of fresh lemon. So hold on just a minute. I'll give you some fresh lemon here. Actually, and we're going to use the Meyer lemon that just came out of my garden yesterday when the kids were here. So hold on just a minute here. What did I do? Here we go. Look at that. Look at the gorgeousness of this lemon. And we're just going to sprinkle this on. And I think what would really look beautiful after all this, now I should have done this before, but I think I can still do it. Hold on. Just intuitively making it up as we go is I'm going to take the zest of this lemon, because you should always zest it before you squeeze it. And this is not zesting, so I'm going to grab the other zester. That's good for cheese, I think. This one, this rasp is really good for, there we go. There we go. And just getting all of this fantastic lemon zest. You see that right there on there? See all that lemon zest? And as we just put that on, it just has just this beautiful look. And honestly, you can go right from fry pan like this to the table and serve this with whatever else you feel like. I think next time I make this, hi there, Pat Fernandez. And Lisa Dell, hi there. Thanks for being here. Next time I make this, I'm definitely going to have Andrea Bocelli in the background. And usually I do French cafe, but when I'm making greens and a salmon and something that feels so Italian, so fresh, so garden, it's definitely Italian music for me. So, okay, there you go. Look at that. Let me just show you a really close look. The greens, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And look at how much it actually made. So that's enough to serve as a side dish for everybody who's eating tonight. It's got the lemon zest on top, the jalapeno chili, olive oil from the Temecula Olive Oil Company, some fresh squeezed Meyer lemon and lemon zest. And we're out for dinner. And that's it for today. So a couple things. I wanted to remind you that Friday is cocktail day. We're going to be giving away a book from Melissa Foods called The Great Pepper Cookbook. So it talks about all kinds of peppers and how to serve them, how to cook them, how to do them. On Thursday, I have my personal business mastermind group. These women I have been with for over 6 months. We meet every Sunday for almost 2 hours, actually for literally 2 hours every Sunday from 10 to 12. Most of us have never met in person, but these women, one in Vancouver, one in Colorado, one in Houston, one in Santa Monica, I'm here, and one in Chicago, have businesses that they have all started, and fantastic, creative, brilliant women. And I think when you hear how we've inspired each other and how we have encouraged each other to our businesses. You'd be so surprised. And they are certainly responsible for me showing up here every day and what I do. And also, on another note, as you know, I had been talking about doing a VIP day for anybody who might be interested in getting together with me on a one-on-one basis and talking through some of your confidence. Oh, you're welcome, Doug. Thank you. Some of your confidence issues in the kitchen. A lot of us were working women, didn't have time to cook for our families. And right now, at this moment in our lives, we want to look back and not have regrets, so it's not too late to recreate maybe a whole different environment for you and your family. And I'm so excited to tell you that I have my first client, and we are so excited. We have been putting together a plan. Hey, Melissa Fry, putting together a whole idea of what she needs and wants to get better at. And I'll tell you, one of those things, she said to me, Nanny Bubby, which was so cute to hear her say, listen, Nanny Bubby, I love that 19 essential herbs and spices that you sent out, which you can get your free download at nannybubby.com/spices. So if you don't have it, go there to get it. She said, but I don't know how to use it. Like, how could I better utilize those spices in the things that I already make? And I had to think about how I would explain that because I didn't really have that on the top of my head. We all know so many things, we just don't know how to explain it. And so she has forwarded to me 3 or 4 of her very favorite recipes, and we're going to take a walk down the 19 essential herbs and spices and show her how to take those 3 or 4 basic dishes and change out everything and recreate them as completely different dishes throughout the month. So, and it's very exciting. So it's a VIP day with me, 4 to 6 hours for each of us. And if you're interested, by all means, DM me and let me know, and we can talk about it. So that's all that's coming up this week. I hope you're all having a great Passover. Those of you who are not celebrating Passover, I hope you will have a great Easter coming up. I think the Greek Easter, is anybody Greek here? Because I think Greek Easter is usually either the week after regular Easter or the week before, and or 2 weeks, I can't remember. So if you're Greek and you're tuning in, just tell me when the Greek Easter is so I can wish you a very happy Greek Easter as well. And to all of you, you know that I love you dearly, and I encourage us all to, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go out and spread love like butter. See you tomorrow, everybody. Bye.